A little bundle of joy was born on the 11th of July 1941 to Mr. K. Balaram and Mrs. Revati in the South Indian temple town of Kumbakonam, Tamil Nadu. His delighted parents named him Biswakumar. However, neither of his parents could have imagined that their bundle of joy would one day go on to change the very destiny of innumerable people of India, whose lives he touched through his vision and actions. He completed his early education in his birthplace and then did his pre-university course at Loyola College, Madras. After that, he went to Trichy for his pre-medical at St. Joseph's College. He then joined the MBBS program at Madurai Medical College and graduated in December 1962. 5 months later, Dr. Balaram Biswakumar decided to serve the nation and joined the Indian Army as an emergency commissioned officer in the Army Medical Corps. He served from May 1963 to 1967 and was honorably discharged with the rank of captain. He saw action in the war against Pakistan in 1965 and also tended to the wounded Jawans in Jammu and Kashmir border, in recognition of which he was awarded the J&K Service Medal as well as the 1965 War Medal. After his stint with the Army, he did his internship at the Government Erskine Hospital, Madurai. He followed this up with acquiring his advanced degree of MD in General Medicine from JIPMER, Pondicherry, and DM in Neurology from the Madras Medical College. He pursued further specialization in neurology in London, Oxford, Glasgow, and Edinburgh, and returned to Madras, now Chennai, to establish his flourishing clinical practice as well as to impart his wealth of knowledge to students of medicine and neurology in many institutions in Puducherry, Chennai, and Salem. Apart from being a bright student, he was a keen sportsman. He represented his college in tennis, cricket, football, and athletics. He is still an avid and regular tennis player, having participated in competitive games and a champion in many a tournament held in India and abroad. Captain Dr. Balaram Biswakumar saw the light of Freemasonry on 5th September 1977 when he was initiated in Lodge Vidya number 164 under the Grand Lodge of India. He occupied various positions of responsibility in the lodge before becoming its worshipful master in the year 1986. His dedication and commitment to Freemasonry saw him gradually rise to various positions in the Regional Grand Lodge of Southern India. In 2002, he was installed as the Regional Grandmaster of the Regional Grand Lodge of Southern India. He served with zeal and holds the distinction of visiting every lodge in the region during his tenure as Regional Grandmaster. During his tenure as Regional Grandmaster of Southern India from 2002 to 2004, he was also presented his 25-year-long term service to Masonry Jewel. As Regional Grandmaster, he was instrumental in consecrating lodges in remote locations and spreading the light of Freemasonry to new areas. One such contribution is the lodge in Mahamaham in the holy city of Kumbakonam. He was the founding master of this lodge and also contributed to building the temple on the banks of the holy river Kaveri. He not only donated the land but also actively raised the funds for its construction. In March 2008, Most Worshipful the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of India, Most Worshipful Brother Justice Devendra Gupta OSM, conferred upon him the Distinguished Order of Service to Masonry. Captain Professor Dr. Balaram Biswakumar was installed as the 14th Grand Master of the ancient free and accepted Masons of India at a glittering function in Chennai on 21st November 2009 in the presence of more than 1,600 Masons and over 500 non-Masons, including spouses of Masons and other invited guests in the first ever public installation of a Grand Master. The ritual working abilities of Dr. Bishwa are well known among us. He was awarded the Best Mark Master in the region during his tenure as the Mark Master of Mark Lodge Unity No. 57. He also won the Madras Masters Lodge Trophy for the Best Installing Master. He is also credited with conducting the ceremony of exaltation, installing the second principal, ceremony of advancement, installing the Mark Master, ceremony of elevation and installation of worshipful Commander Noah in one single day in Balaram. But his crowning glory is and will always be the Jyotir Gamaya project. To mark the 50th year of its existence in the country, the Grandmaster, under the aegis of the Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free and Accepted Masons of India, envisioned the electrification of 50 villages well distributed over the 4 regions of the country, which hitherto did not have access to electricity. The villages selected would be those of the most needy and downtrodden. And Freemasons around the country stood up for this noble cause and donated generously. The steady flow of funds to the Grand Lodge of India enabled the project to be set in motion immediately. Brethren from lodges around the country began scouting around for villages, preparing project reports, raising funds, or arranging for the installation of solar panels. Many of these villages were in remote areas with no motorable roads. But most worshipful, the Grandmaster, Captain Dr. Balaram Biswakumar, was a man on a mission to bring light where there was darkness. He led from the front, like a true leader, personally visiting all the selected villages. This meant trekking through mountain jungle paths and crossing streams on foot. There were massive downpours in some places and heat waves in others. Some of the jungles were known to be infested with Naxals and Maoists, but nothing could stop this march because where there is a will, there is a way. So great was this dedicated drive that the initial target of 50 projects was easily surpassed. And now the number of projects stands at 100 projects, double what was initially envisioned. Jyotir Gamaya has truly turned out to be a landmark project which will go down in India's Masonic history as a project that every Freemason can look back on with pride and joy. Not only a feeling of great accomplishment, but supreme satisfaction that the Freemasons of India made a difference in the lives of those less fortunate and hitherto neglected residents of these villages. On this auspicious occasion, we wish to take this opportunity to thank our most worshipful Grandmaster for his dynamic leadership and guidance. We also wish him a long and happy life in the years ahead and success in everything he undertakes. The Freemasons of Mumbai raise a toast to the man, the Mason, Captain Professor Dr. Balaram Biswakumar, OSM, the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free and Accepted Masons of India.